These are the most brainless NBA moments in league history. Starting this entire video off's the time that Tristan Thompson forgot what type of player he was against the Philadelphia 76ers. Thompson really thought he was that dude when dribbling around in the backcourt. And it wasn't even that bad of a play until the jump shot. Like, the guy wasn't even in respectable three-point range when he heaved that thing towards the rim.
Lob it into Love. Love got knocked down. Thompson tracks it down in the backcourt. He's bird dogged by Simmons. Someone's got to go get the ball from Tristan here. Tristan's going to fire.
Speaking of heaving one towards the rim, Damian Lillard airballed a three-pointer against the Utah Jazz, and yet he still walked away with possession of the basketball. Why? Well, that's because Kyle Korver thought the ball went out of bounds and decided to just check it back into play. The second the referee told Korver and teammate Jay Crowder that the ball didn't go out of bounds until he touched it, they both immediately just broke out into laughter. At least they were in good spirits about it.
Lillard airballs one out of bounds. Now hold on. I thought that ball had gone out, so did Korver, but he touched.
The same can't be said about Russell Westbrook, who's never looked more confused than when he blatantly traveled against his former teammate Kevin Durant and the rest of his Golden State Warriors.
I don't think I've ever seen that. It happened.
To this day, this low IQ moment lives on in infamy. There's really just not much left to say about this one. Russ simply forgot that he had to dribble for a little bit here. Forgetting something in the middle of a game can sometimes be excused. However, it can't be when your team's in overtime, fighting for another win to the record. That's what happened with the New York Knicks here, when someone chose to chuck up another three instead of kill time and force them to foul.
One-on-one with Antetokounmpo, shoots over two. Offensive rebound, Chandler to Bargnani. What is he doing? What is he doing, folks? Why would he shoot the ball? Why?
All the guy had to do was just hold the basketball and wait. Either he kills another 5 seconds or gets to the free throw line immediately to extend the lead to 4 and put it away. Instead, Buddy bricks a 3 at a critical point. Don't worry, at least he didn't do something like that in the NBA Finals. Now that would really be inexcusable. Oh wait, J.R. Smith did exactly that during Game 1 of the Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. In his defense, he might have just missed that putback attempt if he did so straight away. However, the way he just ran the clock out was the only bad thing he could have done here. At least pass it or heave one up at the rim for a miracle. His doing made them go into overtime and lose the game. Let's just stick with J.R. Smith again for the next moment. Apparently, this man just had a tendency to forget that a professional basketball game was going on sometimes. Here he was against the Milwaukee Bucks, walking off the floor in the middle of a possession to talk to someone from Milwaukee's bench.
Watch there at the top of your screen over here. Saying Jason Terry. And meanwhile, the camera.
Milwaukee got the easiest 2 points of their lives, while everybody on the floor for the Cavaliers was staring at him, wondering where he went on defense. Worst part was that it didn't even involve trash talk. He just went over to hug a friend on the opposite team. Now, these two guys on the Miami Heat made sure that they were able to give the ball back to the opposite team with how they handled this inbounds pass. As inbounds that saw the ball go into play, stay in play, then go back out again seconds afterwards with only 2 players touching the basketball. Take a look.
Hits the jumper from the free throw line. Back on top from Minnesota. Martin's got 30.
What was that? What is Norris Cole thinking? Hassan Whiteside, what? That was unbelievable.
Man, this is just embarrassing. Close game, 40 seconds left, and he can't figure out who checked the ball in? The guard should have known that he already checked it, while Whiteside shouldn't have blindly listened and went out himself. All around, just a tremendously low IQ play for Miami. Draymond Green had himself a brain-dead moment as well, and unfortunately this came with the game on the line as well. I guess the pressure makes people do ridiculous things, because I have no idea what Draymond was even looking for here on the final possession. Dude had a full 8 seconds on the clock with the greatest shooter that the game's ever seen standing directly next to him. Not only that, but Draymond himself is a horrendous offensive scorer, and even though he wasn't remotely close to his range yet, still heaved that thing up there.
The inbound. Oh, still looking for Steph. Now Draymond's got it.
What did he do that for?
Draymond shot a 3 with 5 seconds left.
Quite literally one of the dumbest plays in recent memory. However, this next one's awfully close on the dumb scale. PJ Tucker apparently forgot what it means to inbound the basketball with a minute left in this close game with the New York Knicks, and Eric Gordon absolutely loses his mind over it on the floor.
Still much time remaining. Trier, 3 clutch free throws in a row.
Yeah, but they're going to use their tuning for it. Oh, this the ball is live. Volley! Banks it home! And it's a one-point game.
Watch Gordon throw it into Tucker, and he doesn't do it. He doesn't go for it.
PJ, what were you thinking here, man? You watched your own teammate toss it over to you and you're backing it down like you're playing defense on it. He was so committed to blocking this basketball that even the Knicks were hesitant to pick it up. These NBA players often let the ball roll a little too long before trying to make a move on it. Even the best players in the world have made that mistake. Just ask LeBron James as he watched the ball roll to the other end of the court before being responsible for an immediate turnover. I get that he was looking to save some time, but he just completely zoned out when he started walking down the floor. The sheer panic when Denver attempted to snag it off the ground was pretty evident when neither could pick it up. DeAndre Jordan did have the basketball in his hands on this next play, but the problem was exactly that. With the game tied and there being just a second or two left, Jordan let the clock run out with the ball in his possession, while standing right under the rim. Think of it like a J.R. Smith moment, but before J.R. Smith. Chris Paul was going berserk over Jordan being 7 feet tall and not going back up to try and ice the game. He couldn't even believe what he was seeing out of his big man.
Have a timeout left if needed. Chris Paul, he'll double clutch, back it up, in and out. DJ, shoot the ball! But tell me that it's the buzzer of the shot clock, and DJ, look at that ball. DJ grabs it.
Maybe this was why Lob City was never able to win a championship. Championship efforts heard around the world, yet some players, superstars in particular, just don't prefer to give that. In James Harden's case with the Brooklyn Nets, he simply didn't care whatsoever. If you were looking for a prime example of that, here it is.
Sadiq staying in front. Ball gets away.
What is
And
James
Sadiq will
Harden
take it
doing?
away from Harden and drive and dunk.
He had a brain lapse. James Harden knew it was going to be an over and back violation, but he had to pick it up.
Darn right.
All he had to do was just touch the ball to stop the play. Jogging alongside it with his head down while an opponent steals his lunch money's crazy to watch. Looking back on it, we should probably just completely wipe Harden's Brooklyn days from our memories. We also might as well just forget about LeBron's first year on the Los Angeles Lakers before he sent that young roster packing. This inbound to Kyle Kuzma went about as bad as you can expect one of them to go, especially with nobody else even on the same side of the court as them.
And watch here. Just not thinking.
What is he doing?
For whatever reason, King James bounced it to himself on the court and then tapped it again to Kuzma. The bounce in play was the check-in. The tap was completely unnecessary. This once again shows that even the greatest players in league history forget what's going on sometimes. Now, there are low IQ moments, and then there are times when a player is straight up playing for the other team. No, seriously. Thomas Bryant was so committed to helping his opponents win here that he threw down a monstrous putback dunk on his own net.
Fultz, the step back jumper. And Thomas Bryant, did he just throw that down?
I wonder who got this bucket. Was it Fournier?
I have no idea where he was going with this one. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was going for an aggressive rebound, but my goodness, the dude slammed it down with all of his might. Luckily for Bryant, he's not the only guy to have done this before. DeYoung did this on the Timberwolves as well, with the clock winding down in the third quarter. Instead of just letting the shot go and the time run out, he jumped up to get an early rebound but wound up just putting it back into his net.
Durant looked into the corner. Fisher bringing around. Oh, he put it back in himself. Count the basket.
I mean, hey, that would have been an incredible play if it was his teammate shooting the ball, so there's some little positives to take away from this low IQ moment, right? We just had to throw this one in here as well. Minnesota gets a massive steal with a few seconds left, down by 3 points. They're racing down the court for a chance at tying the game with a last-second three-pointer, then they go ahead and do this.
Stone throws it up, taken away by Martell Webster. Martell takes it and slams it, and unfortunately the Timberwolves had a chance to maybe hit the three and tie things up.
I'm not sure what Martell was. He had no idea that Minnesota was 3 down.
Down by 3 points with less than 3 seconds left, and this dude dunks the ball. Denver makes a brutal error and walks out of it without even breaking a sweat on the other end. You could just hear the confusion from the announcers and see it on everybody's faces in Minnesota after this happened. This is one of those clips that's just painful to watch. Washington has a 2-point lead with 3 seconds left, and all they have to do is stop a full-court heave for the win. Sounds simple enough, right? Look at how it actually played out.
Now will the Wizards foul down the floor, and it's a deflection by Ruffin. And the play continues. Peterson got it! I don't believe it! I don't believe it! We're going to go.
Not only did this guy ice the game for his team, but he also helped the other team ice the game right after by tossing it up into the air. He literally just had to stand still and the game would have been over. That bus ride back home was probably the most excruciating time of their lives. Check out LaMelo Ball playing street ball in the NBA next by clicking the video that appears on your screen.